Oh, there we go.
Give one of your papers, bro.
Yeah.
I never went to the gas station.
All good. Peace of love, world. Peace of love. You now rocking to the sounds and vibrations of your boy Malik Kilam, also known as TheDonKilam. As always, prosperity is your birthright. This is not to be construed as tax advice, legal advice, none of that. Not a licensed attorney or tax expert, just for educational, informational purposes only. We was going over Trinsey versus Pagliaro. Look, man, I'm just out here nation building. Oh, that's the DoorDash, huh?
Yep.
I'm about to put y'all on pause. Put their ass on pause. Where they at?
Like he said, they was approaching. Approaching with your approaching with that DoorDash.
Hey, look. Hit one. Tell them come through the gate.
Oh.
Yeah, tell them come to you. Then just come back up. Look at the number where I'm at.
Ask somebody for hot sauce if you see him. Somebody a resident.
Yeah. Hot sauce? One of them Asian motherfuckers. I'm gonna tune in with the people real quick. All right, man. So let me see who's in. Peace and love, everybody. Let me know. Hey, everybody out there tuned in, let us know where you tuned in from, man. Right now we in Vegas. We in motherfucking Las Vegas. Peace and love. We out here. With Trinsey versus Pagliaro. So far though, man. How you feel about everything I went over though, man? Well, I'll wait till you come back. Man. Wait till you come back. I want them to talk to you, man. No, it is a violation of the 11th Amendment for a foreign citizen to invoke the judicial power of the state. The judicial power of the United States shall not be construed to extend to any suit in law, equity, commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States by citizens of another state or by citizens or subject of any foreign state. U.S. citizens, federal citizens, are foreign to the several states and subjects of the federal United States, state of New Columbia, and District of Columbia. Attorneys are considered foreign agents under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, and are subjects of the Bar Association. The government is foreclosed from parity with real people. There's more to go over, too. But, man, so far, man, how you feel I've explained everything, man? Is it making sense for you?
It makes a lot of sense to me.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, looking at all the stuff I've already,
done. So listen. So you've already done actions.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see the words, then that should make you feel more empowered. I feel like when I started getting clarity of the law, because you've already seen remedies with some of your actions just by standing on your square, sticking to your guns. You follow me?
Yep.
So that's one thing I've noticed. So I will say this: I was in both of y'all's shoes already, where I really didn't know how to implement what the fuck I was talking about, but I knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not signing shit, not giving y'all my information, but when I started looking at everything from the trust aspect and then full faith and credit, it's a tax. Assess it as a tax, but sometimes you've got to do the peaceful compliance shit. Emergency. When I always say, man, they have their emergency flashes on. I didn't declare. Who declared the emergency? Out the gate. The public servants. They're there to serve you. But we understand it's corporate America, so the LLCs, then they're there to enforce your policies now because you get to write your own policies. That makes sense? All right. So we got Brian Williams. We got Jay Fox in the building. Let us know where y'all are tuned in from. Now, this is an attorney for the plaintiff cannot admit evidence into the court. He is either an attorney or a witness. Trinsey versus Pagliaro. That is deep right there. And can you see where that even goes with child support?
Absolutely.
Child support. An attorney for the plaintiff cannot admit evidence into the court. He is either an attorney or a witness. So you can't be where you got to be a witness or you're working for the state. You're working for the state. There's a lot of facts in that. I'm not going through all that. The practice of an attorney filing an affidavit on behalf of his client asserting the status of that client is not approved, inasmuch as not only does the affidavit become hearsay, but it places the attorney in a position of witness, thus compromising his role as advocate. That's Porter versus Porter. That's deep. Dang, these are all different case law, huh? Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna keep going then. Manifestly, such statements cannot be properly considered by us in the disposition of a case. Under no possible view, however, the findings we are considered can they be held to constitute a compliance with the statute, since they merely embody conflicting statements of counsel concerning the facts as they suppose them to be in an appreciation of the law. No instruction was asked, but as we have said, the judge told the jury that they were to regard only the evidence admitted by him, not statements of the counsel. Wow. That's deep. That's Hope versus the United States. The prosecutor is not a witness, and he should not be permitted to add to the record either by subtle or gross improprieties. Those who have experienced the full thrust of the power of government when leveled against them know that the only protection a citizen has is in the requirement for a fair trial. Donnelly versus the Cristoforo. Statements of counsel in brief or an argument are not sufficient for motion to dismiss or for summary judgment. That's it right there. That's the one everybody uses right there. Statements of counsel. That's the Trinsey versus Pagliaro. Statements of counsel in brief or an argument are not sufficient for motion to dismiss or for summary judgment. So that means they cannot put a judgment against you. So we got Wet Brian is in Wisconsin. Jay Fox is Northern Virginia. Yeah, it can be both. That's right. Factual statements or documents appearing only in brief shall not be deemed to be a part of the record in the case unless specifically permitted by the court. Statements of counsel in brief or in arguments are not facts before the court and are therefore insufficient for a motion to dismiss or for summary judgment. Where there are no dispositions, admissions, or affidavits, the court has no fact to rely on for a summary determination. Trinsey versus Pagliaro. Damn.
But you let them become facts when you don't.
When you don't dispute it. Listen, that is deep. Listen, this is a deep case. Trinsey versus Pagliaro. You remember I told you I was going to tell you about some other cases too. So listen, if you're ever in a Fed case or a Fed jam, it's called the Rooker-Feldman doctrine. And it's kind of hard to find. You got to go to the real law library to look up how they really use this. But the Rooker-Feldman doctrine, how we used it, is they cannot use a state case. Feds cannot use a state's investigation to prosecute you. So you know how people catch Fed cases for guns? It turns Fed, and it's from the state, though. They can't use a state investigation. The Rooker-Feldman doctrine, you cannot use a state investigation for a Fed case. The Feds must have their own investigation. A court of the United States may not grant an injunction to stay proceedings in the state court except as expressly authorized by act of Congress or necessary in aid of its jurisdiction or to protect or effectuate its judgments. The Rooker-Feldman doctrine is related to the Anti-Injunction Act, a federal statute which prohibits federal courts from issuing injunctions which stay lawsuits that are pending in state courts. So you got to have your own investigation. That's just how we use it. Simple as that. Those are the ones I use, and then I showed you about subject matter jurisdiction. Always challenge it. Once you look these things up, I'm gonna teach you some new shit too. I don't think you've heard, but you might have. Once jurisdiction is challenged, it must be proved, and it can be challenged at any time. The law provides that once state and federal jurisdiction has been challenged, it must be proven. Jurisdiction can be challenged at any time. A jurisdiction, once challenged, cannot be assumed and must be decided. Defense of lack of jurisdiction over the subject matter may be raised at any time, even on appeal. Once challenged, jurisdiction cannot be assumed and must be proven to exist. There is no discretion to ignore the lack of jurisdiction. The burden shifts to the court to prove jurisdiction. I mean, there's this case law that goes on and on. You follow me? Now I'm trying to find this. The importance of affidavits. The maximum of commercial law. Boom, here we go. Same website, Freedom School. Number one, a workman is worthy of his hire. This is 10 maxims of law, commercial law. All are equal under the law. In commerce, truth is sovereign. To lie is to go against the mind. And this will create multiple personality disorders. So like how Mark Christopher put it, like when the kid spills the milk and it gets in trouble for spilling the milk, it's going to lie about it next time. And it's going to create multiple personality disorders. Truth is expressed by means of an affidavit. An unrefuted affidavit stands as truth in commerce. An unrefuted affidavit becomes a judgment in commerce. So once it goes unrefuted, that's the judgment in commerce. So this is what's going on in the courtrooms. Everything goes unrefuted. A matter to be expressed is to be resolved. So it must be expressed to be resolved. He who leaves the battlefield first loses. He who leaves the battlefield first loses by default. So the person who stops filing the paperwork first loses. Sacrifice is the measure of credibility. He who bears the burden often. Come on in. I need me to open the door. We're about to get to it. I'm about to close this out. And then sacrifice is the measure of credibility. He who bears the burden also to derive the benefit. Number 10, a lien or a claim can be satisfied only through rebuttal by counter affidavit, point by point. So the affidavit is the most important. This was just a spoken word. The affidavit is what it's going to become. Is you put the truth on the affidavit, and when it's unrefuted, it becomes truth in commerce. People from a corporation can't review the affidavit, period. Yeah, there's parts of the affidavit. You find it, look that shit up, man. So see what I Googled? I Googled 10 maxims of commercial law.
10 maxims.
Yeah. And the first one that popped up was a quick study of commercial law, freedomschool.com. I'm gonna put this in the chat too. Put this in the chat. Hola. We got Alex in the building. Boom. That's a good one too. Yeah, that's a good one too. But go back.
Commercial laws.
Yeah, right there. See that on the Freedom School?
Yeah.
Yep, that's it. That's the one I'm on. Hey, real quick, I want to get you, man. So how you think because like you listen, so they've already, what I like about you, because I see you don't really know maybe the how I'm explaining stuff on the tax side and the paperwork, but you know certain things because you've done it with your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like, hey, if you don't give them your name and all that shit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's how she was too before she started learning the paperwork side. Because y'all see, she know her shit too.
You just know like the principles.
Yeah, the principles.
But as far as putting details together, nah.
Right. So I went over the jurisdiction again and all that, like the stuff I explained to you earlier in the private. But so how would you think I explained it to you so far?
To me, you break it down simple for me.
Then
It's hard to teach me.
Right. Okay. Just make sure you keep us updated on what's going on.
Yeah, I will.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. But at the end of the day, I just want y'all to know, man, everything is a tax. You follow me?
Yeah.
You understand that? When they say you understand charge, look, I overstand it.
Overstand.
Everything is a tax. Everything is a fucking tax. We're under bankruptcy. And they're using they need that social. You learn the social, so the social is the slave. The EIN is the master. Because the EIN is always capturing the labor from the social. That's why we learn how to create LLCs and trusts and businesses and estates and foundations and all these things and make our social work for all of them. You feel me? I mean, that's the name of the game. Then build credit on contracts, business to business contracts between each other. And that's how you implement the UCC. When people talk about the UCC, I just want you to know, listen, your business to business, y'all create a contract between each other, promissory note, and a security agreement between each other's businesses or even your person or to your business. Then you put that on a UCC, and that's how you build credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send y'all all that shit. I'm gonna send y'all all that shit. I just want to make sure y'all take care of y'all's personal issues first. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Well, much peace and love. I'm just checking in with the people, man. Make sure y'all hit like, subscribe, share. Y'all like rocking with TheDonKilam, though? It's cool, man.
Good,
all right, man. Much peace.
Tell
them they need to tune in, man. Drop that private membership money, man, because it's worth it.
Follow your hearts.
Yes, sir. Much peace and love, y'all. I appreciate y'all. We got Brian Wynn. He been rocking with me for a minute too. He said loyalty, royalty. Great. Yes, sir.
Damn right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace and love. I'm with some kings, man. You see they locked into the universe. That's why y'all dread them. You understand? That's just what it is, man. This is your antennas, the closest thing to your brain. You better know what it is. That's just what it is. That's how I look at it, man. People don't. If you know, then you know.